Welcome to Story Heaven, where the most chilling tales come to life. Tonight, we dive into the darkness of The Abandoned Hostel, a place shrouded in mystery and fear. There was a girl named Aisha, a university student known for her curiosity. One night, she and her friends gathered to talk about local urban legends. One story in particular chilled them: the abandoned girls' hostel on the edge of town. The hostel had been shut down for decades after a mysterious fire. Rumor had it that a girl named Zara had been trapped inside during the blaze, and her spirit still wandered the crumbling halls. They said anyone who entered would hear Zara's cries for help, and if you stayed too long, you'd see her face burned and twisted, staring back at you in the dark. Despite the warnings, Aisha, driven by a mix of skepticism and thrill-seeking, decided to explore the hostel herself. Her friends declined, too scared to join. Armed with nothing but her phone's flashlight, she made her way to the hostel the following evening. As she approached the building, its dark silhouette loomed against the night sky. The windows were shattered, vines crawling up the decaying walls. Pushing open the rusted gate, Aisha hesitated as a gust of cold wind brushed past her. The hostel seemed to exhale, like it had been waiting for her. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of mildew. The floors creaked under her feet. She shone her flashlight around, revealing peeling wallpaper and broken furniture. Her footsteps echoed in the emptiness. Suddenly, Aisha heard something. At first, it was faint, like the soft, distant sound of crying. She frowned, heart pounding. The stories her friends told came flooding back. She dismissed it as her imagination, but the crying grew louder, more desperate. It was coming from upstairs. Against her better judgment, she climbed the staircase. Each step groaned, as if warning her to turn back. As she reached the second floor, the crying abruptly stopped. The silence was suffocating. Her flashlight flickered, casting brief, haunting shadows on the walls. That's when she saw it, a door slightly ajar at the end of the hallway. The crying began again, but now it was louder, clearer. It was coming from that room. Aisha's hand trembled as she pushed the door open. Inside, the room was empty except for an old, scorched bed frame. Her flashlight flickered again, and for a brief moment, she saw her, a girl standing in the corner, her back turned, hair matted and hanging down her shoulders. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, and her body was rigid. Aisha tried to speak, but her voice caught in her throat. She stepped closer, compelled by a strange force, and whispered, "Zara." The figure slowly turned. Her face was a charred, horrifying mask of pain, her eyes wide and hollow. Aisha gasped, stumbling back, her heart racing. The figure moved toward her, floating, reaching out with blackened, skeletal hands. Aisha sprinted down the stairs, her legs trembling beneath her. The hostel seemed to come alive, the walls groaning, doors slamming on their own. She could hear Zara's voice behind her, whispering in a rasp, "Stay with me, don't leave me." As Aisha reached the front door, it slammed shut in her face. She pounded on it desperately, her breaths coming in ragged gasps. Behind her, she felt a cold presence, and slowly, hesitantly, she turned. Zara stood just inches away, her lifeless eyes boring into Aisha's soul. A twisted smile spread across her burnt lips as she whispered, "You're not going anywhere." Aisha screamed as darkness swallowed her whole. The next morning, her friends went looking for her. They found her phone, its flashlight still flickering weakly, lying on the dusty floor just inside the hostel. But Aisha was never seen again. Some say, if you visit the hostel at night, you can hear their voices crying now. Aisha's and Zara's, both trapped forever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our journey into the unknown, don't forget to subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. Like and share it if you dare.